I fixed it, by the way, because what I did was, our recordings for the last week up too, because when this thing rebooted, it changed all the, it changes all the settings that you get, and it was like mono, and it actually sounds like it was off the laptop computer. You know what I mean? So, and that's the last like 5 or 6 shows. So I fixed it today.
Oh, all right.
It was just because I never listened.
Sucked, really?
Yeah.
Sucked.
Well, then again, we said some horrible things over the last few weeks. I mean, about Ross.
Yeah, so that's
And it might be okay with
well
that.
deserved though.
Oh, 100%. The fact this cocksucker still hasn't answered.
Oh.
I'm not sure what that could possibly.
I have no idea either.
Like, is he dead?
Yeah.
Is he dead? Did he block us? What happened? What did we do? Again, here's another situation. What did we do?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Oh, I sent you that thing though, where you can make money off podcasts. It's on iHeart.
Yeah.
We might.
I don't know what that is. How does that work? How much
Just
does
gotta
it
sign up
cost?
for it. I don't think it's anything.
Really?
Yeah, or it's minimal. It's basically, they'll put you out on iHeart and another one, so then you put money behind your promotion, obviously, which is tough because podcasts are tough to promote, I think.
Yeah.
Unless they look really professional. Like I know if I'm looking to do something like, an ad or whatever, it has to be, popping, not kind of like what I do. You know what I mean?
And I wonder if it, yeah, well, maybe we can design something to make it look cool.
Because we should, and I think we should fucking, figure out what we're gonna do here. It's like, that's what it's take it to the better make it a studio.
Yeah.
Big enough, nice enough,
Yeah.
every view. And I have to decide by tomorrow.
No,
No, 28th, I got 3 days.
you better hurry up.
Well, you know what, I'm waiting for the stock, now the stock's gonna go. Mark my words, mark my words.
I
Because
get
your
it.
line, the second, which is next Monday, is the latest they can announce it. The stock's gonna go, my friend, and things will be okay. What could go, oh, I shouldn't even joke.
Seems like you start going to work and now you're just depending on the stock within 3 days. It's gonna hit in 3 days.
No, 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah.
Brian, come on.
We'll be fine.
No, this is about you.
Yeah, I know, I gotta stop that shit.
Uh,
I know. It is funny that I just came to that realization, wait a second, I've done this before.
Yes,
Yeah.
all of it. So,
Yeah.
and you don't want.
Although I got fat again the last time, so I'm not gonna get fat again this time.
Yeah, but you lost your car. You said you don't want to
Yeah,
do it
no, I don't want to do that. That would
again.
suck.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, I know. I hear
Come
you.
on.
I hear you. Well, that's son of a biscuit.
Huh?
Sometimes it's a little slow, so I gotta wait to turn the volume down.
All right. Hey, look at that. It's working again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard. We are Renegade Radio. A little bit late today. John Pico, Brian Berna here hanging out. A couple of chatty Cathys again.
Yeah. Well, happy 9/20 on July 25th, everybody.
Yeah.
Get
wow.
prepared for the best 40 minutes of radio you're gonna hear all week.
This is going to be exciting stuff. Good morning.
I'm saying that on a
Renegade
Monday,
Radio.
because I know that tomorrow and the next day are gonna suck.
I know, right?
Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, you know.
Oh, well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, John. I was just-
That's okay there, buddy. That's okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard.
Good morning, John.
Oh, holy crap. Why is everything so loud? Or is it just me?
I think your headphone volume is up, John.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't touched it in
Well,
months.
That doesn't matter. Whoever
Oh, it
comes in
doesn't?
and plays DJ.
Oh,
on the
that's right. I
weekend.
forgot. We had DJ Mixmaster Office Clerk.
Yes.
Yeah, whoever that is comes in and pushes all the buttons.
Yeah, well, it's fun to push buttons.
Kinda. Well, good morning. How was your day? How was your weekend?
Phenomenal, John. How was yours?
Oh, so good, so good.
What'd you do?
I don't even remember.
Oh, that good, eh?
I know I worked, but I don't remember.
Nice.
You know, I worked, yeah. I hung out with the kids, I worked. That's
Well,
pretty much it.
What a bore fest. You know what I did?
What's that?
I watched TV
Did ya?
all weekend long.
Nice.
From the time the show ended on Friday.
I've been trying to check out the King of Queens, thinking of you. Did you watch that this weekend?
Of course, John.
All right,
Which
good.
episode?
No, I didn't even watch a full episode.
Give me one part of it, and I'll tell you what the whole thing was about.
Boy, I don't even remember. I do remember it was an older one because
Was the wife
the
snarky?
wife. She was, yeah,
Okay,
but she
and
was more thick than she was when she was young.
Okay, so I was about to say, so no, when the episodes first started,
Yeah,
she was very, very thin.
yeah,
Then, yeah, so by season 3 and 4, she was experiencing some success
yeah.
and going out to some nice restaurants. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I think she had a kid too.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, so, but then she thins out at the end.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, no,
Gorgeous lady.
she was kind of thick.
Yeah, I kind of liked her thicker.
See, I don't even think she's gorgeous. I think she's kind of a.
Well, not now. Did you see what she did to
I
herself?
don't like her vibe.
Well, no, she's a nasty bitch. That's
Yeah.
the vibe, and that's why that Carrie character. Her name was Carrie on the show. Everybody, the King of Queens.
Was it Leah Remini?
Yeah. But was nasty. Like she was just a nasty housewife. You know, and it fit her personality because when you hear her now, like in interviews, and she had her own TV show and all that stuff,
Yeah.
she's just nasty.
Yeah,
She's
I
got a
don't
bad
like
attitude.
I don't like it.
Nah, I'm from New York, see? Shut up.
That's all I know about her.
Dame.
I know she just seems very cranky.
All right, Muggsy.
Never been a fan of hers, and so I think that's why that show.
Now put you in your place. Look, you're 103 pounds.
Yeah.
You're the type of chick that gets your boyfriend in fights.
She definitely seems like that.
Yeah, well, that seems like that. That is it. It has to be it.
And she does. Well,
Because she's really
so I
hot and
guess
she's
she
got a
is.
big mouth.
Yeah. All
You
right. All right. So she's hot. She got a big mouth, and so I mean, she is one of those people.
Absolutely. Just
All right.
think about it. Because, like, you know, every guy has been put in that situation where you're like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Here she goes again. So now I got to go get into a fight.
Let's see. Ed Clark and Woburn says that we sound tinny today. We sound
For the
tinny.
love of Christmas.
I think it's your mic. I think you sound tinny.
I sound tinny, eh?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
I
not
don't know
sure.
what to do about that.
I don't know. Well, nothing we can do. The mic trial working right. Like,
Yeah,
the
everything
correct
seems to be,
mic is feeding YouTube.
I guess so. Yeah, is he
Yeah,
saying the streamer is tinny or the YouTube
I
is
don't know.
tinny?
Ed, is the streamer tinny or is YouTube tinny?
Picky son of a bitch.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
Don't say that about it.
We don't want to put out a tinny product.
That's our man. If he can't hear it, no one can.
Yeah, well, that's true, John.
Yeah, so
I apologize.
just came up with
I apologize to Ed and to you, John. Because.
Oh,
But anyway, I don't know why it's tinny, Ed.
apology accepted.
Nothing I could do about it
Well,
anymore. How about that?
Don't be cranky about it. He's just bringing it up. He's up on it. He said it's just on YouTube.
Well, okay,
That's
just,
what
all right.
Steve says.
Well, what am I supposed to do about YouTube when you got this other bum from Braintree?
And Woburn says, love you too, Brian. Yeah, see? I'm sorry, Ed. I'm sorry for Brian's behavior.
Whatever. Toughen up.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
It's almost like he's on roid rage without the roids.
Yeah. Yeah, you bum bastards.
Yeah, Stephen New Hampshire says the app sounds just fine.
All right, good. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's all I care about. Go listen to the app. Who cares?
Well, no, but what do you mean go listen to it? But we want them on YouTube too, so they can join the
But I also
chat.
want them on the app. So go to the app and then, how about this? Mute YouTube and listen to the app while you're watching YouTube.
That sounds a little weird. Why would we tell people to do that?
Do the mouths have to match the words? Who cares?
No, I'm not
It's
saying
radio.
that.
There's nothing else going on. We're not going to juggle. You're not going to miss anything if you don't watch YouTube.
I'm just saying that's our fix. That's our fix. All right, our fix is turn on the app,
Yeah.
and that's only for the
No,
streamer.
turn on the streamer
You want
and then
the
watch
YouTube-
YouTube and you can join that chat room there. Because that's the only reason we got YouTube was for the chat room.
Yeah, it's like watching a basketball game on TV but listening to the radio broadcast.
I used to listen to the radio and watch the TV with Yankee games all the time because I hated the announcers on TV.
Yeah, it's just weird. Just a little
It's not weird.
Yeah, it's a little
And,
weird.
and like I said, our voices won't match. Ooh.
Yeah, well, it's
Get
not about the
over it.
voices matching. It's just a little bizarre to have two things like that.
I don't believe so, but whatever.
Yeah, but I like our tech support. I mean, if we have John and Braintree like we are supposed to, I mean, we pay this guy lots of money.
You know the other thing?
What?
Because you look at this YouTube thing, how do you promote it?
I don't know.
Because we don't, that's the other thing.
I'm wondering if you do the hashtag thing, like we were saying before.
Yeah, we've done nothing. Like, I don't even think we put a post out on Facebook because Facebook, our reach, we actually have, it's hilarious. We have this graph that they give you, like your 5-year thing and all that, where we actually reached over 1 million people consistently at one point for a little bit,
That's pretty
right?
good.
Then it was at a few 100,000, phenomenal. Now, I guess, because we're very pro-Trump, I guess, we'll put something out and the maximum it will reach within 7 days is probably, I don't know, 150 to 200 people.
Yeah, it's a slight difference.
They call it the World Wide Web, John.
Mm-hmm.
That, Facebook is this meeting place where billions of people come.
Yeah.
We have thousands of people that follow our page, although they stopped that and took a lot away, but people that follow our page. Why is it at the very minimum, the people that follow the page, that's the number of people who should have seen it.
That's right.
Because they have chosen to see it.
What I am thinking part of our problem is when we're, the title of each one of these shows on YouTube is not very descriptive. I mean, the title of today's show is 7-25.
That's the date, John.
I get that it's the date, right? But maybe a description. Like maybe it's just, hey, Renegade Radio broadcasting live, but then with a whole bunch of hashtags.
Well, maybe I should also put the year because in a few months,
Yeah, exactly.
they're going to go, well, was this live then or now?
Exactly.
Why are you talking about that? That was so last year.
Yeah, so it's weird. Oh, they're in that studio again? Yeah, so that's why I think with a lot of hashtags, the hashtags
Oh.
might get up there. Well, I mean, if we, like I said before, if we did just one time and then copy and paste.
That's true. All right. We'll work on that then.
All right, we'll work on that.
Yeah, we're on it.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we don't know how to promote anything. Even like this stupid, the YouTube thing, which apparently sounds tinny, everybody. Like, what do you do? Like, what am I going to go on Twitter?
Yeah.
And what, aim it at what? Just, tweet. Or Twitter's the same thing, although we get a little bit more traction on Twitter. We have 300 people might see it.
Wow.
Yeah. You can tell they're not in cahoots.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And Ed Woodward said I post your link on YouTube all the time.
Oh,
thanks.
thanks.
And on Facebook.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I know.
That's the problem.
Maybe
Hence
we
the
should.
problem, everybody.
No. Let's see. But that's it. But most of his Facebook posts are scrutinized anyway. So.
Yeah, they are. And
Oh, that's
especially
not
if
good.
it comes with a link or a
Yeah.
video, then it sees a lot less people.
And probably if you tag us in it in some way, some capacity, whatever, probably isn't good either.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have
We're
to-
flagged.
We're going to have to change the name of the show, John.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because we've definitely been flagged.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, we've definitely.
Oh, so if we change the name of our Facebook page.
Well, no, you would have to delete it and start all over again.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
Yeah, because once again, knowing how good we are at social media.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why not start from zero? Oh man, that sucks.
People that don't move forward are afraid to let go of the past,
man,
John.
I really didn't think it would be like that. But you're probably right.
No, I'm definitely right.
Whoa.
Because it would keep the same algorithm and all
Yeah,
that to that,
for sure.
that website. So whatever.
Ah,
It is what it is, my friend.
damn it.
You came down on the wrong side of being right. Because, by the way, I don't know if anybody heard this. I heard this on the way in. Hilarious.
What's that?
General Tilly.
Yeah, Mark. You mean Tilly or Millie?
Oh, Millie, pardon me.
Mark.
Let's call him Tilly.
Good old Mark Millie. He
Millie.
looks like a Tilly.
Yeah, he does look like a Tilly, doesn't he?
Yeah, he always has been a tizzy.
but he, General Millie, had come out and said, check this out, John. Hold on to your hats, everybody.
I'm ready for it.
This China place, maybe a bigger threat than we all thought.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
All this time you were telling us during the Trump administration, you got to worry about Russia collusion, Russia this, Russia that. And we keep saying, hey, what about China?
Yeah.
No, don't worry about that.
Well, now, apparently, over the last few years, and especially during the Obama administration, it stopped for a brief time. Don't know why, but then picked up again in the Biden administration.
Nice.
Amazingly, they have grown. They've put so much money into the military, and they're expanding in their economy, and they now have allies with certain weapons, and they've made these, just the moves they've made have been like harmful to us. So much so that they're threatening Nancy Pelosi if she heads over there.
Yeah.
With the military strike.
It's supposed to be going over in another day or so, or they didn't give an exact date, but it's going to be the next few days.
Well, no, they'll tell you when it's over, especially now,
Mm.
because the fact of the matter is though, China now is threatening our political figures.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
right?
So now Millie has decided, hey, wait a second, maybe we should start to pay attention. So all the people that we just kicked out because you wouldn't take your COVID, you stay out. And all the other people that we've scrutinized and got you out for silly stuff, you're out still. But remember, everybody, use the proper pronouns
Yeah.
when the Chinese come to kill us.
Uh-huh.
They only outnumber us, 3 or 5 to 1?
That's all. They got a small population. Was it 1 billion over there?
And they're
They're responsible for like an eighth of the
Well over 1
world's
billion now.
population, or more than that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little ridiculous that a population or a country like China rather, who has been a threat forever, has been ignored forever. But the real people who know haven't ignored China. It's just our government always, for some reason, I think they've been in cahoots with them for
Of course
some
they have,
weird reason.
because we've elected the criminals.
Yeah, of course.
And anybody who's in politics for more than 1 or 2 terms is a career criminal.
Oh my God, big time.
You know?
And if our eyes didn't open up enough when the pandemic was going on, we needed our pharmaceuticals and masks, all that stuff, and when that boat was turning around, that was coming from China to here with all those PPE supplies and everything, when those got turned around, went right back to China. If our eyes didn't open up then, I mean, what the hell is going on?
At this point, you would have to say that first and foremost, once again, an open border itself is just stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not a country then. That's just stupid. Especially when everybody you're letting in is entitled to all these things that only American citizens were entitled to.
Right.
So now all of a sudden, like welfare, like where's that money coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't have it for our people, but you have it for everyone else. Like
Right.
so, what they're doing is they're breaking down the country itself. And once again, we're just a gateway now from Mexico to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's incredible what they're doing. And think about this. This is what drives me absolutely crazy. I guess some money is heading from us into China, of course,
Mhm.
but going to a company that Hunter Biden
is on the board.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, he wants or does own it. Or on the board, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I had to think bad thoughts about Eric Trump, right? Because he would donate his time to a kid's cancer hospital. But since he was on the board, they would fly him in, put him in a hotel, and fly him back. And he took it.
Yeah.
So he's a horrible guy, and yet didn't make anything. He was helping cancer kids. And this asshole.
So what this guy's doing is
literally, and he's gone places representing our government.
Yeah.
And he's a junkie. He's a cokehead.
What I love about it is literally selling our oil reserves to that country, to that company.
Yeah. Yeah. His
in
company.
that country.
Yeah.
I mean,
former company from 2 years ago, John.
I mean, does that not smell disgusting to you? Because think about it.
Especially from the side that was just accusing everyone else of everything.
You're right, but the oil reserve, what's that work? What's that supposed to be for? I mean, supposed to be in a time of need,
I'm a war.
When
we're totally
really
sealed off
need
from
it?
the rest of the world.
Yeah, but
Not because you want to bring gas prices down 20 cents.
Yeah, that's the reason for it. Ridiculous. When we could be self-sufficient like we were in oil ourselves.
We're being held hostage.
Yeah,
we're being held hostage by our own government from the choices they're making. And I'll tell you this:
intentionally.
Republican Democrat thing is a bunch of crap, and if you buy it, you're an idiot.
I agree.
It's literally the WWE.
Mhm.
It's the good guys, whichever one you want to think of, and then the bad guys.
Yeah, that's right. I've
they
been
tangle
watching biography on A&E, and you can see when all the guys are hanging out in the locker room. Well, they're going to be fighting each other in the second, so they're enemies in the second.
And wasn't it Lindsey Graham who went over
Yeah.
Pelosi or somebody, or whoever was showing?
Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Mhm.
I mean, he broke
It's all
a
fake.
kayfabe, if they call it.
Yeah,
You know, just ridiculous that these are the people we're putting our trust in. Because once again, I believe, and I think it's very simple, and I think most people who have any common sense whatsoever feel the same way. You got to feel the same way as me. But an open border is just stupid because once again, that we live in a world full of terrorism.
Mhm.
Now, yes, people who need help can come in, but also the terrorists, the bad guys, drug cartels can come in. Stupid. That's why you allow immigration, but it has to be legal.
Yeah,
You know,
it only kind of makes
maybe it's
sense.
not. By the way, pandemics from
Yeah,
coming
that's
in.
what I was just gonna say. You kind of understand, like, all right, well, here's that disease. We'll stop that one. Especially, if you're testing all these people before they come in. But no, just let that border be nice and open, free, and let them all come
And
on.
let's not stupidly do things.
It's testing people's racist.
Somebody comes in, and let's say they test them, right? Then they just release them and mail something to them with their test results.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't. You just confined us to our homes for how long?
Yeah.
But you won't do that for the illegals. They have flooded millions of people in this country in less than 2 years.
Mhm.
They said the number and this is the official number, not counting all the getaways and all that stuff, but it was almost 2 million just this year alone.
Imagine that.
2 million.
Imagine that. Are you kidding me?
That's almost it, and I guarantee it's a lot more than that. By the way, it's only July. You know what I mean?
Yeah, halfway through the year.
You're going to talk about 1 to 2% of our population now is going to be illegal. Just
How is that okay?
amazing.
I mean, don't you think that's kind of taxing on everything?
It's not just taxing. It's giving the country. They've sold our country out from under us. Because once again, it just doesn't make sense to have an open border anyway. But especially not during a pandemic, which you shut our country down for. If it is that serious that for the first time in my lifetime you shut down the entire effing country, okay, then it's serious enough to close our borders. That's all.
I would think that's pretty serious.
I think that's simple enough. When you're telling me now, by the way, during the pandemic, you're right, we couldn't get our PPEs, and we don't make them. We buy them from other people. Well, we should always have stuff here.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for oil. And the same thing goes
Pharmaceuticals.
for pharmaceutical
Yeah.
and food.
Yeah.
Because you know what's happened recently, and people aren't paying attention, and I don't understand why. China is buying up farms in America. And we're not talking about a little farm down the road, everybody. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of acres of our farmland is owned by foreign countries.
That's okay, right? Isn't that fine?
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Like,
why?
are you kidding? That's our
Why are you
food.
so upset?
But you know something? Here's the thing. Let's say you do own a big chunk of the land, right? And all of a sudden we go, hey, we're hungry. We want that food. And they send the Chinese military there to protect it.
Yeah.
Like this is incredible what they've allowed to happen. But you have baby food shortages. You have, when we went through the pandemic, there was a toilet paper shortage. There was this. Granted, nothing earth-shattering, thank God. But it could be the next time. That's why you can start preparing now.
Exactly, because that first shutdown, the first closures, all the first little things that we were kind of short on and everything, I think that was just a test. It was a test. Hey, can these people? How are they going to survive? How are they going to make out? And because
Or will they tolerate it?
yeah, because the first time it was easy. You gave us the days off. You gave us the money.
Everybody liked it.
Don't worry about it. It's cool. All right, we just have to go up and down the aisle a certain way. It's all right. We'll play the game as long as we keep getting that money, right?
Hey, what is that, 6 months? Yeah, all right, I'll take a
that's cool.
6 month break.
I don't have to work. This is easy, So now you have that thought in everybody's head, thinking like, well, if we all get shut down, that won't be so bad, will it? Well, yeah, it will, because the food shortages will be real, the paper shortages will be real,
And the money's worth
and the
less.
money will be real,
And the inflation is going
Yeah.
through the roof.
and you won't get that money that you got before.
Yeah, absolutely not.
With all the businesses are going to be closed again, you're not going to be able to go out to those stores again.
Right now, and it's sad to say, but right now, we're in a spot where almost every decision that's being made, okay, is the wrong one.
Yeah,
And it's not just
that's scary as
with
hell.
little things. Like, let's put it this way. We're sending more rocket launchers over to the Ukraine.
Go ahead, guys. You can have
Now,
them.
we have bill makers here in America that are saying, you know something, we should send military advisors over. That's World War III, everybody. We now are engaging Russia, okay? F the Ukraine, we are bypassing them, and we are now going to be engaging Russian troops, okay? That's World War III. Are you prepared for that? Is that something you want? Why is this government doing this? So far you have our energy supplies low and cut off, our food supplies cut off, you released a effing pandemic on us, and this is your way to fix it?
Isn't that great?
Was become more dependent on other countries? This is crazy. And then to take your guns away. And what baffles me? Oh my God, Jesus. Joe Biden over the weekend says, you know something, I'm proposing a bill to fund the police. You son of a bitch.
Well, Brian, don't you know there are cities that need police,
You-
a little bit more police than we had before,
Who knew, right?
or that we have now?
Who knew?
Yeah, man.
You idiot.
I
You
mean-
literally gave away, let places.
I got to tell you, crime's been up in New York, but if we had some
Horrible.
police on the streets,
It would probably be better.
and I even think we had some plainclothes police officers to go to roam the subways, things like that, it might help a lot.
They disbanded
Genius.
terrorist units.
Yeah.
They disbanded. That's not necessary. It's only what, New York?
They haven't done any terrorist acts since how long?
Yeah. Just amazing. Every decision the left makes is bad. That's when you have to start realizing, once again, they may have started out as these two parties that you thought wanted the best for the country. They just had different ideas of how to get there. That is no longer the case.
Right.
You have one that is saying, look, since we couldn't take you on militarily, back then, and you have nukes, what we're going to do is take you over from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make you weaker from the inside.
Right.
And that's exactly what they've done. And then if you ever call them on it, they call you a racist.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they're smart enough to put somebody who would be considered a minority in those positions. So then if you did criticize them, they can call you a racist
Yeah.
and shut you up. Because you know something? I don't care what color Omar is or Presley is or AOC is. It doesn't matter to me. You're morons. I don't care if you're white, black, who cares? You're stupid.
Mhm.
That's the problem. But if you say it, whoa, all black women are stupid? That's not what I said.
Yeah.
I said that one in particular is an idiot.
Yeah, and then become word police.
Of course.
I can't believe you had the nerve to say that. You called every single one of us what?
Exactly. And
No, that one's acting like a moron.
I think the craziest part is when you realize that, and we've said this over and over again, but the mainstream media was told, if you talk about a stolen election, or if you talk about doubting the coronavirus or Fauci or anything, you're fired
Yeah.
immediately. Remember, it was immediately too. It wasn't no warnings. It was immediate. We were told here, and we know people actually here in the radio industry that were canned, walked in and said, "Get out
Mm.
right now."
How can you have a free and fair press if you can't even talk about the election? I mean, the election is the biggest thing we have in this country.
Because you're a conspiracy theorist.
Supposed to, yeah. I mean, but seriously, you can't even talk about that, or without the fear of losing your job.
Yeah.
After everything we just been through with the pandemic and everything, now an election weekend that just was literally stolen. Why can't we talk about it?
Well, think about this too. If you don't believe that the left is evil, now that they're in charge, they're targeting Supreme Court justices that they don't agree with.
Yeah.
They're threatening them. There was that guy that went to go kill Kavanaugh. I mean,
Who?
There-
No,
there was-
I think you're losing it. Nobody went to go.
there was a representative over the weekend, a guy running for governor, I forget which state,
That's right. Yeah.
was on stage giving a speech, and the guy jumped on
I was like
with
Indiana
a
or
knife.
something. Yeah.
I mean,
What's funny about that? Well, nothing funny about that. But when you see them discredit the fact that the guy had those brass knuckles, that was AKA like a knife on the end of it. You know, that's really what that was. And it was like, no, it was a keychain. Like people on The View or shows like that, somebody was actually saying because it had a ring on one side of it, that was a keychain.
Yeah, that's the excuse for it, by the way.
I've seen those on different websites. You can buy that. That's a weapon.
Of course, it's kind of like back in the olden days when people wanted to buy roach clips for their joints,
Yeah.
right? They would put a feather on it and they would call it a hair clip.
Yeah.
It's not a hair clip, it's a roach clip. We all know what that is.
Yeah.
Clever ruse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that is.
Exactly, and that's something it's one of those things that you put in your pocket. It's sleek, and it's literally a weapon. It's not made for anything else. It's not made to hold
He
keys.
assaulted the guy. And you know what's funny? I mean, they had to backtrack on this because they're just ridiculous in New York. Do you know they let that guy go with no bail
Yeah.
originally?
Yeah,
They just let him go.
And then
That
insane.
attempted murder in front of people, but
Yeah.
since the guy was a Republican, F him.
Yeah, they just let him go.
Just
I
let
mean,
him go.
how can you? I mean, if that was the other way around, a Trump supporter and a guy to be
White
locked up.
supremacist. It would have been that was a
White
white
supremacist,
supremacist
yeah.
that needs to be isolated and then treated as a hate crime.
But this guy, nope, he's fine. Released immediately, and that guy called it too. The governor, lieutenant governor, whatever he is, he called it. He said he's going to be released from prison, and he was.
Yep. Well, and I think they rearrested him because of the backlash.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I believe so.
Uh,
But just absolutely from the same state that a few weeks ago when that bodega owner
Yeah.
or worker defended himself and killed that guy.
Yep.
They brought the bodega guy up on charges.
that's just so.
That guy spent a night in jail, thinking he was going to go to jail for the rest of his life.
You should spend no time in jail.
No.
And that's just ridiculous when you can't even stand up for yourself at all.
But
You
do you
can't
see
defend
that this is
yourself.
being pushed by the left? All of it.
Yeah,
This is what they did.
that's frightening.
This is what I think is hilarious about the left, because they're really stupid. Because cities like San Francisco, which is just a dump now, which is a shame, because I can't even believe it's a dump because I've never been there. But I used to see it on TV all the time. It looked beautiful. Now all of a sudden there's people living in tents and crapping everywhere, and
Yeah, the image
shooting
you
up.
see is disgusting.
Yeah, it's
And
nasty.
the buildings just run down too. It's just gross.
and then when you see how they're robbing the
Yeah.
Amazon trains,
That's
and
right.
just like it's like the Wild West.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's just, but New York, a lot of parts of New Jersey, just these bigger states that have these, more well-known cities, more populated cities, are finding out, that less police isn't good. That letting criminals out of jail, which that's what they did. They gave the coronavirus excuse.
Hmm.
The reason that violent rapist was let out of jail early was because if somebody coughed on him and he caught the coronavirus, he could possibly die.
Yeah, how they even let violent criminals out of prison blows my mind. And their only fallback was, just someone kind of. You can't get everybody sick in here. And what do you mean? They're in prison.
Well, it's like the
It's
guy.
like crap.
The guy that he assaulted this woman horribly in New York, just because there are a lot of mental patients too, but beat her, right, and then was released 4 hours later, and then beat someone else. You know what I mean? It's just
It's
your
incredible.
policies don't work.
Yeah, you're
but-
allowing these people to do this again.
But when the Bidens or whoever come out and say, hey, we need to fund the police, well, look, your policies are stupid. You have emptied the prisons, then you make there no bail, which is, that's New York, that's just ridiculous. Having a no bail thing.
bail policy is
That is-
ridiculous.
And when you have repeat criminals, you don't catch everything, by the way.
Yeah.
He might have been arrested 40 times, but he probably did at least 300 crimes. Like, these aren't the nicest of people. They're
No.
violent.
Yeah, that's why they're in prison to begin with. And why do you have a soft heart for those people?
When I was younger, I remember always saying I thought cops should be paid a lot more, not a lot less. Because I would think if you could go to work and somebody could kill you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Maybe it's worth $100,000 a year.
Yeah, I would say.
You know what I mean? They're starting these guys off at 33, 35 grand in 2020.
That doesn't make any
What are you,
sense.
nuts?
When it's that low, especially when it's an industry, you kind of need these people.
You're a target now, by the way.
Yeah, big time. You put that uniform on, you drive in that car, and you are literally a billboard.
Never forget what Bill de Blasio did in New York to those cops, where he put that little thing out, and actually Cuomo, as a governor, did a lot of stuff too, where basically the cops were to take it. So they would show up in these horrible, drug-infested, scumbag, crime-ridden areas, get out of the car, and these people would attack them and throw stuff at them from the buildings. Remember, they would fight them, and
That's right.
and the
yeah.
cops would have to turn tail and run. They sent these poor guys in there, with no backup, knowing they couldn't even defend themselves. It's crazy. I was watching CNN the other day, right? And there's this title, and it says, "Black man killed." Of course, it has to be race, right?
Yeah, right away.
Black man killed by police after a foot chase. Okay. Here's the thing, and I don't care what you think of me after I say this. If you don't want to be injured or killed, don't run.
That's words to live by.
Okay, it's simple
Literally.
enough, everybody.
Yeah.
You don't run, because I know I've been arrested before, and when you get arrested, of course, mine was parking tickets or whatever, but whatever, you put your hands behind your back. I'm not gonna resist this guy. He's doing a job. I understand I effed up. You know what I mean? Didn't pay the thing. This is what happens. Well, I'm not gonna think, let me see if I could punch this man in the face and run.
Yeah.
You know, the guy with a stick and a gun.
Yeah, that's gonna get me far.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll be able to escape.
And the reason that you run,
Please.
and I don't care if it was just a silly mistake, because I actually have a cousin, I totally forgot about this, that was killed in New Mexico by a cop for almost the same reason. And I'll be honest with you, this guy was a dirtbag.
Really?
Yes, he was my cousin, but he was a dirtbag. And you don't run. You don't threaten cops and then
never
run.
understood why people do that. You know, I mean,
And there's-
obviously the first thing they think of now there's real guilt. You know, second
course.
ago when I was just cuffing you, we just have to kind of check everything out. Now you're running.
Now remember the
What
guy.
do you think he's gonna do?
Remember the guy that was, he had a restraining order against him. He went over to his girlfriend's house. She calls the police because he's very violent. Guess he raped her in front of her child or something
Yeah.
horrible. And the cops get there, and that guy starts to run, and he goes towards his van.
Yeah.
And then the cops shoot him, whatever. And everybody's like, oh, they didn't have to shoot him like that. And the guy was going for a knife.
Right.
With the funny thing, too, and this is a story. Remember they said, because there were pictures of him with a knife,
Mhm.
and the news was saying, no, there's not. I'm like, but I saw
You
them.
can see the video of him walking around the car holding it.
And then, so he wasn't going for a knife, he was going for a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He already had a knife, and he was assaulting, he just assaulted a woman. You know what I mean? And violated a restraining order. So basically, if that were you, and you were the victim in this point of view, which nobody seems to care about victims anymore, but you're the victim, and you know that this man just hurt you, and the cops are there to protect you, and the cops are going, well, I can't do anything about it.
I
I
just
mean,
gotta sit there and watch. I mean,
Yeah.
I gotta wait till he actually does it first.
yeah, and after he does it, then I'll do it.
Unbelievable.
It's just a
I mean,
weird.
it's a weird
mindset.
way they're looking at the police and how they interact with the general public is so strange. Remember those two young girls? I think they were like 14, 15 years old, and not sure what state or city it was in, but the two girls were wrestling and fighting and everything. And I believe one of them had a knife on them and was just about to stab the other one, and the police shot her and put her down.
Yeah.
And thankfully, because she
Because
was
you're gonna stab that kid.
literally about to stab it. And the first reaction was, I can't believe that cop put that child down, that 14 or
The
15-year-old
kid
child.
murderer.
What?
Yeah.
But you realize he just saved that girl's life.
Yeah.
That girl's about to get killed.
Well, it's also like when you have, well, this government just is, they've already shown you that they don't like the Constitution.
Yeah.
Our own president said, you know, basically it's not steadfast, like you can change some stuff, throw some stuff in there, you
Mhm.
can change it around a little bit. Hey, how about this, communism?
Yeah,
You know, we like that, we could give that a shot, right? Hey, if we're really a democracy and we voted for it, we'd go communist.
yeah, exactly.
What the
It doesn't
people
make
talking
sense.
about?
None of this makes sense.
None of it. But once again, we're in a position where this administration, you know, and I don't care what anybody says, be distracted by the stock market if you need to. But, you know, something when you look at what the country is, we're weaker than we were 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Okay, we were coming out of a pandemic pretty effing strong with excesses.
But they were
money,
smart though.
oil, and
They were smart though. Like you're saying, take a look at the stock market if you want. Remember during Trump's administration, that's what a lot of people were talking about. Well, hey, you know, the stock market's doing good. That's a good sign of the economy. And like the smarter people always said, that's not the only sign of the economy, but it is a good indication of where the economy could be. And you know now how true that is because during Trump's administration, he had everything going right. The gas prices were low. We were self-sufficient in oil. All these things were going very, very well for us as far as the economy and money and all that stuff. But here comes Biden, and they were smart because they kept the stock market going up.
Yeah.
You know, but
Well, it's
while they
distracting.
took everything else away from us, so they could say, well, look, no, remember we said the stock market, as long as that's high, the
Well,
economy's good, right?
let's put it this way, they're gonna have a meeting, the Fed's already talking already about another point hike, which is craziness.
Insane.
This is crazy. But they're having these meetings where they're very serious. People aren't taking this into account. Our stock market's very volatile, okay? And when money switches hard. And like it could be, your money could become worthless. Like that piece of paper that says 100 on it, to you 100. You know, no one else cares about it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very scary where we are, and we have a president who can't acknowledge that and doesn't understand how to fix it. And to be quite honest with you, doesn't want to, because if he really wanted oil prices down or us to be self-sufficient, you know, as far as the country goes, you wouldn't be going over to Saudi Arabia.
No
begging.
way.
You wouldn't be asking
No way.
Venezuela. You wouldn't be doing all these things. All because even this moron has to realize I can fix that in 2 months.
Yeah.
And just by saying, look, I'm opening up these pipelines.
That's it.
That's all you have to do.
Oh my God, he doesn't even have to get his hands dirty to do it.
You know what they're doing too, and this is hilarious. Now that I think it's the GDP reports coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And they're saying that if, obviously if it's another down one, technically we're in a recession.
Well, no, it's not.
Even
No, it's
though
not.
we have defined the recession by the 2 down quarters
Yeah.
for, I don't know, since it was invented.
No, well, yeah, but we changed the rules,
Yes,
because Bitcoin, right? That's
Exactly.
whatever.
They're changing the definition.
Yeah.
So they don't have to say that Biden put us in a recession, which
Right.
by the way is followed by a depression.
Insane, but
You know?
immediately I love how the word police are out and be like, well, it's not real. I mean, a recession is. No, just because the 2 GDP doesn't
Literally,
make
it is
sense.
the textbook definition of a recession.
That's what, if you look it up, that's what it says.
Exactly.
And
And don't worry, that'll be changed.
yeah,
That'll be
I think it's changing as we speak.
Yeah, that'll be changed.
Because they are really hell bent against that.
Once again, though, I don't even think it's a lockstep. I believe that this is an attempt by either another country or whatever to take over our country. Because once again, as a democracy, the values there are amazing. Every person is equal.
Yeah.
You have the chance you could either be a bum or you could be a billionaire. It's up to you. You have all the opportunities. Instead of everybody pissing and moaning, I didn't have that opportunity. Because look, there are plenty of people who didn't but found one.
You're damn right.
You know what I mean? Like there are winners in life and there are losers. Sorry. And some people are content being a loser, but the losers bitch more than the winners.
Mhm.
And then are jealous of what the winners have. Like, do I want Bill Gates money? Sure I do. I absolutely do. I also think it's amazing that somebody can make that much money. It's not, to me, it's not mine. You should pay more taxes. Listen, man,
No,
if you really
please.
want equality, everything is equal. You then get a flat tax.
Yeah, I think
That's it. And stop
that
bitching.
should be the only way. Flat tax. I don't know why people would disagree with that.
Because
really
it's the poor people who want more of something that's not theirs.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, and this coming from a poor person. So I can say this, I know what it is. You know what I mean? It's craziness. But we now have this government that has distracted us with these stupid things like all of a sudden you're supposed to hate somebody because of the color of their skin. Look, I understand that the 60s and on, but I was born in a generation after that. And that's not the way we think.
Mm-hmm.
Never have. You know what I mean? So stop acting, like it's
so stupid.
whatever. That's stupid. That's just to distract us from what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have women who are hilarious how this one blew up in everybody's faces. Because then you have the trans thing, and if you don't accept the guy who wants to be a woman beating women and getting all this recognition in this sport, then you're transphobic,
Right.
right? And I can't define what a woman is, said a Supreme Court justice and a doctor.
Man, they're all not able to do it.
Yeah, they're not. They don't understand what a woman is. And then when abortion was taken off,
Oh, my body, my choice. Don't you dare tell me I have to do that.
well, and once again, coming from people who said that they thought that the COVID vaccine, which by the way, I think it was Pfizer came out the other day and said you're gonna have to get one booster once a year.
No, good. Yeah, of course.
That was supposed to be a one-time shot, then a two-time shot,
Now
then
it's
a
once a
three-time
year,
shot.
like we predicted.
And it will be more. It'll be every 6 months because it just doesn't last.
Yeah.
It's
Incredible.
It's mind-boggling,
Yeah.
and then to have nobody on either side that can do anything about it is very scary because they're all on the tape.
Mhm.
Whether it be a Democrat or a Republican, they're both making money. And we're not talking, hey, here's $20, let me in the back
Nope,
door.
You're damn right.
We're talking a tremendous amount and a tremendous amount of fame and power with it.
Yeah.
That's why the Jim Jordans of the world who actually do nothing but roll their sleeves
They
up.
do nothing, Brian. They're just a good figurehead because they make it seem like they're doing a lot of work. Make
I
it
can
seem
pound the table when I talk
like,
too.
yeah, you got bearded Ted Cruz now. He's a real man doing some hard work. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
he's
Wearing those jeans like Sean Hannon.
And his flannel jacket.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because he's a lumberjack now.
Yeah,
Like, once again, they're playing a part, all of them.
yeah. I can't stand that.
Well, that's why, I think it's very funny when you have somebody who's pure, like an Alan Dershowitz, who, was taught at Harvard, a real respected lawyer, a lifelong Democrat. The guy's older than dirt. You know what I mean? Even liked Hillary. You know what I mean? Like, just incredibly Democrat. But when they went after Trump, he was the only one that would say, hey, hold on a second. Technically, what you're doing is against the Constitution, right? That what you're doing is wrong, whatever. And what did they do?
Yeah.
They ostracized him. They
Immediately.
threw him out. Now all of a sudden he's enemy number one
Yeah.
to a party that he was dedicated to forever. He taught at Harvard, and then all of a sudden he can't teach anywhere.
Yeah.
He can't.
He's
That's
out
Alan
of the-
Dershowitz.
all the clubs that he was able to go in, he's not allowed to anymore, which is so bizarre. First off, the guy's how old?
He's gotta be in his 70s.
And you guys are doing what?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's like they said, Larry David
Yeah.
saw him and got into it with him in the street.
What the hell? I mean, this guy's a well-established person. I mean,
He's a Harvard professor. That you guys value that, not us.
Yeah, it's like, this is ridiculous. I mean, Alan Dershowitz, the guy, I mean, whatever, however you believe, the same side as he, it doesn't really matter. Holy crap. And it's refreshing when you have a guy like that who can see President Trump, even though he doesn't agree with him all the time, say, well, you know, those policies, I do agree with this or that.
See, here's the thing with Trump. Trump, I get not liking Trump, that's fine. But it's not Trump who we're voting for. Yes, he's a plus because he's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is it's what he stands for is what I'm voting for. I like the fact that the guy's flashy, though, on the side.
Me too.
I think he's entertaining. I love listening to him because he tells you what's going on in the world in an entertaining way.
He shoots it straight.
Yeah, he's not going to BS you, and he's going to say, hey, this sucks. You know,
Yeah.
we got to do something. Like, I remember when he came out with the coronavirus thing, and looking all serious, and I thought, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once again, I think the man was making good decisions. I agree with closing our borders. I agree with every state having the right to govern their own state. That's
Yeah, me too.
That's pretty much what this country's supposed to be, by the way. The states govern themselves, but we all kind of dig each other. So, you know, we send the representative in Washington and say, well, we feel like this over here.
Yeah, that guy represents us.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Massachusetts right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, it's become this really crazy backwards thinking thing. And if you challenge them, if you've noticed, like, you know, and it happens almost every single time, if you challenge a woman, you're a misogynist. If
Yeah.
you challenge a gay guy, you're a homophobe. If you don't think that, you know, a guy, somebody who was born a male should compete against women, you know, then you're transphobic.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like certain, I mean, it's just amazing because they've made everything, that's the response to everything, to shut you up.
Mhm.
And people do shut up because who wants the conflict all
Oh
the
my
time?
God, brutal.
You know?
Isn't it funny? I think it's funny how this world has kind of twisted and turned the way it has in such a short period of time. I mean, it's literally like somebody took a light switch, because we were just a mere 2 years ago pretty damn strong.
Yeah, very
You know,
strong.
I mean, our outlook, everything about us, the chest was held high, you know, to the rest of the world. Now, we're just a bunch of big old pusses.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, now there's not any other country is afraid of us right now.
No.
We're depleted. Our military is just sucked dry because, I don't know, we lost a lot of it in Afghanistan, and we continue to pour more of it into the Ukraine, which is just,
Well, once again, that's how this
mind-boggling.
all started. We're sending rocket launchers and more money over to them.
It does
Ukraine.
not make any sense
This makes-
whatsoever.
What this is to me, I'm telling you, I always thought this way, is you have people they put in our government that are going to vote the way they want them to. Because, you know, we owe a lot of people a lot of money. Now they're calling the big. Now it's time, you got time to pay. Oh, you don't have it? You don't have it? Well, it sucks to be you. 'cause,
I agree with you. I think that's exactly what it is. Somebody called it in and said, hey, it's time to pay.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's easy to do that with Biden around.
And when you have somebody on the take like that, like what the crazy thing, and I know that, I think when the mainstream media doesn't mention something, okay, and I like when another station will say, MSNBC spent 0 time on it, CNN 0 time, this one 30 seconds. Because even the guy, the politician that got attacked on stage, I think MSNBC only talked about it for 35
It
seconds,
was
and that
like
was it.
36, Brian.
Yeah,
Give him
okay.
the whole second extra.
Yeah, 36. So just amazing, and I'm thinking, well, that shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
If this is news, then you know something, it should be news, you know, right across the board, and
You're
not
damn
given
right.
because you like the guy or
I
not.
mean, damn right, the news should be the same news stories every station. I
Exactly.
mean, that's what the news should
It
be.
used to be.
Unreal. All right, well, hey, that's the end of the show. Gotta go.
Oh, that was a quick one.
Hope you enjoyed that half hour, everybody.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna go back and listen.
Me too. I don't know, though. I don't have all day. All right, enjoy the day. We'll see you tomorrow. We are Renegade Radio. Have a good one. Goodbye.
I was listening to one of the tapes and I could hear that fucking bling sound.
Yeah, that's okay.
41 minutes.
I have the tingle.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna say this will figure it out.
Oh, okay. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you out there, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm over it now. Oh shit, watch that.